everyone, it's Carrie and welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be like my normal studio vlogs, except let's be honest, guys, it's Friday and I honestly have not recorded much at the beginning of the week. I felt like this week I tended to focus a little bit more on like short content at the beginning of the week, and I had totally meant to record today, but honestly I had to like focus a little bit more on my real job. I really didn't even get to crochet as much as like I would like to before I market, but we're living with it, we're accepting it. So this studio vlog is actually going to be a little bit more geared towards my market this Sunday. I'll probably take you guys along tomorrow with some of the prep work that I did the day before. I am like the absolute worst at organizing things and getting things together, so like usually it ends up being that the last day before a market I'll still have things to finish up. I end up like having to tag everything because I never tag when I'm actually crocheting. You would think that it is easier to like tag and sort through things as you go, but for me I just like don't do that. And then of course Sunday I will take you guys along because this is definitely a different market and a different format. I'm a little scared. We'll see how it goes. You know, you take every day one step at a time. But I'll show you guys just like what I made today. I made this little hammerhead shark today. That was like my big thing that I did. I really didn't get anything else done because I had to focus on my other job. I had someone looking at the barn, so I did the barn tour, and then it just took me a lot longer to get everything done this morning, so timing just was like not on my side today. But I want to show you guys, or let's open something, because I got a P.O. box. And the reason why I got a P.O. box was mainly because it's kind of my intention to start trying to branch out and do a lot of like online sales. I don't know if I'm gonna go through Etsy. I'm kind of iffy on that just because Etsy's kind of like so crowded. Then I decided, well, maybe I'm gonna give TikTok shop a try. I've heard it can be very questionable, but I'm kind of willing to do a lot of things. So I'm gonna give TikTok shop a try, and I didn't want to necessarily link my home address to TikTok. A lot of times my online website orders have been people that are like I know, so I'm like, okay, it doesn't really bother me. But I wanted to try and just like figure out a different thing. So I ended up getting a P.O. box because I've actually had a few people who are like subscribed to the channel and everything ask me a few times if I would ever get a P.O. box, if they happen to like want to send me goodies or like letters and stuff, and I would absolutely love that. I'm not saying anyone has to do it, but I like hope to one day be able to like fill in my wall space and everything, so it's not just like so bland to have like pictures, like letters and all that type of stuff. So I did get a P.O. box, and somebody already sent me something, and I have mentioned this name before, and the reason before that I've mentioned this name a few times was because they had done my mini cow pattern a few times and had sent me pictures on Instagram and had made the cutest alteration to the original pattern to make a donkey. Y'all, it was so stinking cute. I'll show you guys really quickly, but my phone screen is kind of like trashed right now. I'm supposed to get my phone fixed at some point. This absolutely adorable little donkey from my original mini cow pattern, like that is so stinking cute. So they asked me if they could send me something, and I was like, oh my god, yes. So this person's at is Bekmade Studio. It's Bekmade Studio, and I'll include the at and everything on the screen so you guys can follow them. But they sent me something, so we're gonna unbox it or open it. I've never like opened something on the camera before, really, besides like sponsored stuff. I have no idea what it is, so the fact that like people even want to send me something, or like even if I got like a letter or like people's plushies, like that is mind-blowing to me. Like it's amazing to me to see like how much has changed in such a short period of time. I've always been comfortable being on camera and stuff, but I never really thought about getting into YouTube until later on through my crochet time. But I just never imagined that I would have people like subscribing and people commenting and people like on my Instagram messaging me, and it's really just mind-blowing. Like I can't put it in other words. Let's open it. Okay. Oh my gosh, yes! It is a clover hook. It's just so funny because if you guys haven't seen some of my previous videos, I was even talking about the fact that I broke a crochet hook. And this person, we were talking on the DMs and everything, and she was talking about clover, and I don't really get out to the stores that much, and we were talking about them before, and I didn't know you could buy them in singles. So this is like so funny. I love it. This is Carri. It's time for an upgrade. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to crochet with this because I always hear people talk about clover hooks and everything, and oh my gosh. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. This is like perfect, and I can't believe someone sent this, and my whole like rest of the week is gonna be made. I could bomb this market, but this is what's gonna keep me going. I think I'm gonna actually put this on my wall. I just want to remember this moment, so I'm gonna probably find a way to like put it on my wall somewhere, and that way I'll have like my first little note or something from a subscriber, follower, supporter, all that stuff. So thank you again, and I'm always blown away by the fact that so many people like just care about me. I guess it's just such a weird feeling after like not having anyone really around me throughout so much of my life that's like not my family, so it's just like it makes my day. So we're gonna get started with crocheting this little cutie and finishing him up, and I've got some editing to do, I've got some other things to do, and we'll see what else I get done today. I'm not like trying to push to get a lot done for the market. I don't know how to explain it, but pretty much basically like once we hit 3 days before market, I stopped trying to crochet. I know there's some people that like a couple days before market, they just go like ham on crocheting. Like they try and crochet as much as possible, they stay up. I'm like the opposite. Once we hit 3 days before, I'm just like, you know what, I've accepted my fate. Really, like, what am I gonna do that's really gonna change that much? And then I start to do like the bigger projects that I'm a little bit more interested in crocheting. So we're gonna see what we're gonna get done, but I'm so excited. I can't wait to use it. Okay, good afternoon everyone. It is now Saturday, so the day before the market. Typical me fashion, I really enjoy putting everything off till the day before the market. So the big things to do today are of course to tag inventory. I'm also going to write down how much inventory I'm actually bringing to this market in terms of what I made recently, because I'm going to be tagging it all. I have a few things to finish off. I've got some small items, and then I'm gonna see if I can also get another stingray done today. I have to finish sewing a bunny, and I have to finish a snuggler, flowers, and I have a few small items as well that need to be kind of like finished off. And then the plan is to rearrange the boxes and see if I can take a few less boxes that I normally do. I'm probably gonna be back up to like 6 or 7 boxes. So that's gonna be fun. The setup of this market is like I'm actually in the green area of Avalon, which is basically like a shopping center or whatever, but we can't actually pull up to the area. Of course, to set up, we have to, you know, walk a ton. I'm trying to think of ways to like bring less stuff because I'm also given an extremely short time to set up. I've done my setup pretty quickly before, but in the ideal world, I love like 3 hours because I don't feel like I'm having to rush and I can take my time. It's a lot less stressful. This market, I basically have an hour to an hour and a half to set up. We have till like 10 to 11:30, but you start selling before. It's like just not a lot of time. You have to be set up, I think, completely by like 11:45, and then it starts 12 to 6. So I'm just trying to think of like ways that I can maybe take a little bit less stuff, and then I'll have to like really put the crunch time on when I set up everything. And at least I don't believe they make you have to like get out super quickly. There's a few markets that, if you didn't know, when you do like the what I would consider like upper scale markets, not necessarily like the smaller like relaxed chill markets, but when you do the bigger like art markets and fairs, they actually will fine you if you do not get out of there by a certain time. So I had one market that I did that essentially we had 30 minutes to take everything down, get it all packed up, and get it in your car and leave. And if you didn't have everything packed up within like 30 minutes, they would fine you. So I don't believe that this market does that. I'm really hoping they don't, just because in my mind, I'm thinking like 6 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. It's the weekend. It's supposed to be nice weather. It's not supposed to be raining or anything. There's gonna be a lot of people out at restaurants and da-da-da-da-da. And it's just gonna be so crazy trying to get out of there. And even getting in, I'm a little bit worried about. But that's for tomorrow. That's not for me to worry about today. I don't care today. We're gonna start inventory, packing things up, and that will honestly probably take me most of the rest of the day. Good thing is I'm probably gonna pack my car up tonight so I don't have to worry about it tomorrow, because of the fact that I am not leaving until, I think I'm gonna try and leave here about like 9:15, 9:20. I'm gonna bring a horse in before I leave because he does not like to go outside as long as everyone else. And I'm gonna do that. We're gonna head over, and even if I just like literally have to park on the side of the road and wait just so like I can get my spot and have my crap, I'll be good. Let's get started. I've got lots of stuff. Basically, we're going to be tagging the entirety of this box. I've got some like miscellaneous stuff outside, like this guy still needs nose and it needs hair ribbons and stuff, so it's gonna sit outside. I have my desk is very dirty. Y'all, I keep it real here. I'm not trying to be some YouTuber that's like, oh my gosh, I keep everything clean, pristine, not a thing out of place. My recommendation, if you're looking for clean, pristine, organized, not me, girl, not me. And I'm not trying to be something that I'm not. So basically I have a ton of flowers over there that I'm gonna have to finish up, tag. I got a unicorn snuggler over there to tag. So I just got like a lot of things to do, not a lot of time, and supposedly at some point today, I'm supposed to be getting a call from somebody about some stuff with the horses, so I'm gonna take the work call as well. But let's get started, at least tagging some things. I also should say for tagging and stuff, these are like a lot of tags. I always keep my tags after the market now that I'm doing the individual tagging again. For a while I was just doing signage, but I just found if you have like 20,000 people, well, that's an overstatement, but if you have like 5 people at your booth and they're all looking and grabbing things and they're all talking to you, it is so much easier to have everything individually tagged. And I didn't do it when I was at farmers markets, but it was just a completely different vibe. Oh goodness, I've already dropped things. But I always save my tags because all I do is write down the price amount and then I just get whatever yarn that I really don't use. I have so much old acrylic yarn, cut it up, and then that's what I use to tag them. So let's get tagging. Before I tag it, I was also like thinking like when I was riding my horse, I was thinking tags. I don't know if anyone ever watched Pitch Perfect and they do that riff off, and for some reason I was thinking like that song that's like, it ain't about the money, money, money. We don't want your money, money, money. And then it's like price tag. I don't know. I'm kind of going crazy if you can't tell. So guys, 'tis the night before the market. I'm doing night check right now. I don't record a lot at the barn just because it can be a little awkward given the fact that there can be other people around, I suppose you could say. So I don't usually record too much when I'm at the barn, but this is night check time. This is my very beautiful Borders tack room. So not my own tack room. I wish my tack room was as neat as this because my tack room is like chaos. But you can see my ring outside the window right here. I don't really have that many boarders who I think really come and sit around like at our fancy tables and stuff, but it's here if anyone ever wants to use them. But I'm grabbing right now everyone's turnout sheets. Oh, the sticker stain. Delightful. Turnout stuff, fly mask, fly boots. I have to wrap a horse, so I grab all that stuff. Clean their stalls again, re-feed, re-hay,
free water. Tomorrow I have somebody who's coming to help bring in the horses and then do their dinner time feeding, but I'm still doing all the morning stuff. Luckily, this time works a little bit better. I still gotta take care of the barn in the morning. There's a lot of things that are gonna be potentially changing with the barn within a couple weeks, so it's always nerve-wracking when that happens, just because when I take time to do this job, I lose time to do the crocheting. But it's life. This is my full-time job, even if I don't make any income off of it. This is my life. So they have had their nighttime treats. I always close the barn up just because, let me show you. I have a lot of trees, woods, the whole shenanigans. And because of that, and because of how developed the world is becoming, that means I get a lot of wild animals. And I'm just not very comfortable leaving the doors open. We've had it all, like at my house, which is down there. That's my barn. We've had it all. We've had coyotes, we've had bobcats, we've had bears, like literally super close to the barn. So I always leave my doors closed. If in the rare chance a horse happens to like bust down a stall door, then they can't like take off down my driveway or something. And even though I have a gate to close, like, so they can't run to the road, still just one more thing. But after I do my barn, I always come down here and give my baby horse her night treats. She goes out at night, and my other guys go out at a different time. But Frisia, she is my baby, literally. Oh, hello. She was born in that barn right over there, and she just recently turned 3, and she's a troublemaker, and we're just waiting on her bestie, which is 2 Bits. Impatiently waiting for 2 Bitty to walk over here. 2 Bits is like 25 probably or something, and Freya's 3, so they make quite the pair. But get their special treats out. I know, Carrie's going so slow. We'll give Freya hers first, because she's then 2 Bitty. Did you get it? Oh no. Get those teeth working. Oh, there we go. Now you guys are good for bedtime. They really would love some more treats. All right, everybody, we are back inside. It's time for me to figure out what I'm gonna do for the rest of the night, basically. I did start crocheting another loaf cat because my loaf cats were lower than I really wanted to bring to the market, and I got almost done with it. But when I sit down and think about how much time I'm gonna have tomorrow before I actually go to the market, because I'm trying to leave early to get there so I can hopefully like book it when it opens, I just don't know if I'm gonna have the time to actually like finish it off, do all that, because I did not pack my car. So I still need to pack my car tomorrow, and typically with the barn, I've been finishing up at like 8:30 recently, and I need to move some hay and feed over to the barn tomorrow, so I just don't foresee myself being able to get everything done with the cat. So I think I'm actually gonna maybe edit a video, and maybe a short video if I can record the ending. I didn't record the ending because I already moved my boxes downstairs. So maybe I'll have some like footage I can pull from my camera somewhere, so I don't have to record. But I think I'm gonna work on editing, and if I decide to crochet anything, I think I'm just gonna do some flowers. After this market, I really want to have some flowers in the store. So that's probably going to be my plan, is like maybe I'll do some flowers, and then probably whatever I have left over from this weekend's market, I'm going to take it to the store and put it in there, and then we'll start prepping for the next market in July, and then also the store opening in July or August or something. I guess I should come on here and say that it is the 8th of June, and I have officially
made the money back for my spot in the store for this month, which is very exciting because there's a lot more days in June left. So that means hopefully I can make a little bit of money off of the store and everything. And hoping after this market, I'm gonna try and bring some more things, maybe rearrange things. It's just so difficult having such a limited space. And it does seem that like the small items, of course, are the things that are selling more so, because I had to increase some of the prices to cover the credit card expense as well as the commission expense. So that is definitely something that I'm trying to keep in track or keep in mind with just like my products that I'm bringing, is smaller things are what is selling right now. But I think for tonight, I'm gonna record whatever I need to finish recording for the videos. I'm gonna edit and potentially maybe crochet a little bit, and then I'm gonna try and bring you guys along as much as I can tomorrow with like my actual day. It might be a little difficult, but if I do, y'all will be on the phone, and it is my mission that before the next market to get my phone fixed. I don't think you guys can see it, but no, it's hard to see. Underneath my case, the entirety of my phone is shattered. So that's why the quality is always so like whack, because it's literally all shattered. So I want to get it fixed at some point, and I keep telling myself after each market I'm gonna do it, but after this market I'll make the time to go get my phone fixed because it's in rough shape. But tomorrow y'all will be on the camera phone in the morning, probably, because I'm not taking my big camera out to the barn. I don't want this one to get damaged, and I'll record some stuff with this phone, and then I will try and record stuff at the market. It probably will be as the market goes on, just because like I said, it's gonna be utter chaos getting set up with such a limited amount of time.
So slow. Hello. Yes, ma'am. Feel free to grab one. I have an online store and I do all types of custom, so. Been playing so loud, it's so hard to talk to people. Where is you at? Right there. Oh. I feel like every market I've done, I've always gotten right across from the music person. Sometimes it's not so bad, but I just can't ever hear people speak. Oh, I can't decide, is it hot? Oh no, we're not done. That's my only one that I have like that right now.
Guys, I know my lighting is usually like not good, but this is really giving like cave dweller, crochet, hobbit. I'm really just in my crochet gremlin mode. That's what I say when the hood goes up and I'm just like crocheting away. It's gremlin mode. So I wanted to come on here and give my thoughts a little bit before I go to bed. I'm lying because I'm not going to bed right now. It's 8:17. I think I literally ate like a yogurt and we're gonna call that dinner. But I think for the rest of the night, I will probably like maybe do a little crocheting. But I probably would just edit. There's actually a few K-dramas that I missed watching today. So maybe I'll watch them because I really wanted to watch them, but I was at the market. And if we're gonna be honest, kind of wish I stayed home and just watched my K-dramas. To explain this market, well, first of all, maybe I just don't put up with things as much when I'm sitting outside in the heat. I'm actually don't really mind the heat too much. I moved, you guys, because I wanted to see if maybe I would stop looking so blue, but I don't think it helped. But like I was saying, I actually don't really mind being in the heat. Like, I'm out in the heat every day with the horses, but I think the difference is like I might be outside when it's like 90 something degrees, but I'm usually moving around a lot, and so when you're moving around, it just doesn't feel so bad versus when I went out there and just like sat for hours. I think it got to me a lot more, but I also was drinking so much. I think I drank like 7 or 8 waters, 2 Gatorades, a Coke, a medium-sized Starbucks refresher, and then a medium-sized coffee. Honestly impressive with how much I drank, and I still came out of there with a headache. Now, that could be because of the caffeine, but honestly, I don't get affected by caffeine that much. Like, it gives me absolutely zero energy. I wish it did, honestly. But it was really funny because, like, one of the people in the vending, like, those vending a little bit further down, I think by, like, the 5th or 6th time I went to the bathroom because I was drinking so much, and like the water bottles were like this big. But by the time I went there, he was like, wow, you're sure getting your steps in. And I didn't really know what to say because I was like, I don't really want to tell this man. So that was really cute and funny, and it was an experience. But overall, this market was just like It wasn't a bad market by any means, but it wasn't really like what I would consider a good market. And I also think what honestly is throwing me off and making me say like it wasn't a good market was just because I think I came in with high expectations, and usually I don't do that, because I usually just keep my expectations at 0 with everything in life so I don't get disappointed. But I didn't do that, and I honestly think that's just like half my problem. My mentality tonight, probably by tomorrow I'll change my mentality, because that always happens. I came in thinking that this was like a great location. It's like right dab smack kind of in a probably what you would call a pretty fancy area of town, and an area that has like top like clothing brands, stores, like, so it's just, it was in an area that I thought would be like good. It just was so slow. For a while I was really worried if I was even gonna make my table back. I paid $125 for the table, and a lot of people were there, but they weren't there to shop. They were just kind of looking at things and doing my favorite thing ever, which is just grabbing everything and like messing it up and then leaving. I actually had my first sale really early, but I was like a little bit annoyed, I guess you could say, because like I was trying to set up. The person was there like an hour before the market even started. We're kind of like going through my bins trying to find things, and I was just like, I should have known that even though they, you know, bought things and stuff, I should have known that was gonna set like the mood for the rest of the day. So I think a lot of people were just there to like look, not really buy. I did find it pretty funny that, like I said, there was a lot of like designer stores at this place and whatnot, but I found it kind of comical, I guess you could say, that these people were walking by with like bags from designer stores like Lululemon, and I'm trying to think of some other like more like Athleta, and it's not designer, but the clothes are actually very expensive, and just like places like that, Carri, just like places that are not like cheap by any means, and some jewelry, and like there's so many people walking around with like designer purses. I was like, oh my gosh. And this is the first market I've ever seen like a ton of people full on glam and like dresses that I feel like they were going to like someone's wedding or an award show, and they would go up and, you know, grab something of mine, and they would just tell me that it was like too expensive and why would they pay for that. And I was like, it's literally $12 or like $18. It takes me like a little bit over an hour to make. By the time you figure time, materials, I'm really not making that much. And to begin with, if you're walking around with designer clothes and designer like everything, and you have your hands full of shopping, like I don't really think that you should be telling me that something is like too expensive for you when it's only like $12 or $15. Like, that kind of got to me. Especially as the day progressed, I just kept going like, I was so exhausted and just done with some mentalities. I also think one of the things that kind of got me was it's not really what I would consider like super kid friendly, in the regards that pretty much most of the past couple markets I've always done markets that have kid zones, like something for like kids to do. And I guess when I signed up for this market, I didn't really think about it, because I guess I just kind of assumed that most markets like have things for kids or cater to kids. But this one really didn't. The organization was just like a little, so they didn't really have like kids stuff, and I think that always is gonna hurt me. I wish I had like paid attention. So if anyone's going to be doing markets and stuff, make certain that if you're gonna do crochet, just try and find like a little bit more on the craft fair, art fair side of things, and places that are also doing kid stuff, because end of the day, the kids are probably what's gonna bring in sales and everything. So I definitely learned my lesson. The sad thing is I signed up for the same market next month. I still made my table back and then some, so I can't really justify not doing it, but it's probably gonna be worse because it's gonna be hotter. That's just kind of my thoughts, I guess. I'm gonna do another video tomorrow, and I will have had some sleep and some time to think about it, but not my best day, not my worst day. I just think I just came in with way too high of expectations. It is a little bit disheartening sometimes. But I'm also tired. I'm so tired and hungry and want to sleep. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is editing Carri coming in to say that I never actually ended up recording anything after my very long tangent. I told myself I was going to record something after, and then I was looking back at my camera and was like, I never recorded anything. So I decided, what better time than to come on right now and actually give some thoughts after I had some rest and some food and just kind of like could think about it a little more. All in all, I would say that actually the weekend was not bad, especially when you look at numbers. The weekend did technically underperform compared to my last couple of markets, but I think like when I was comparing the numbers on Square, so at Sunday that was 12 to 6. I think I made about like 450, somewhere around that number on Square. Comparing it to the last couple markets, one day I had made $800 more. The other day I had made like, oh gosh, $400 or $500 more. Comparing the numbers to my previous markets that I've done this year, aside from the first one, which was just kind of like a just like get out and see what my setup was gonna be. This market didn't perform as well. With that being said, I still made close to like 8 something. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then of course, minusing the table expense and everything, I still made basically like over 100 an hour. So all in all, that's all really good. So the market in terms of the finance side was not bad by any means. I would love if every market you could make that type of money. I think what honestly got to me was kind of what I was saying in the previous video, was just like my mindset. And I think that I probably was just like a tad burnt out a little bit, like going into it. I didn't maybe have the best mindset. And then I think honestly, I think it was more so how I was being treated a little bit that just got to me. I think having the first encounter of the day where these people were coming up and going through my bins and everything, and I was trying to set up and like there's stuff all over the floor and stuff on my table and I don't even have anything and they're going through it all. I think that just kind of put me in a little bit of a bad mood, especially when I saw these same people walking through the market again like 5 hours later. I think it just got to me a little bit because I was like, why didn't they respect me enough to like wait until I wasn't literally like on the floor trying to put all this stuff up and it's just like utter chaos and I just need time, you know? So I think that just kind of put me in a little bit of a bad mood for the whole day. I also had some really good experiences with some people. Like there is a group of people that come to mind right away that actually was at Woodstock and had bought something from me. They had bought like a cat and I think one other thing. They came to mind right away because they also came to this market and they were just like the sweetest people ever. I mean, honestly, I think they were kind of the saving grace that made me like want to keep pushing through the day because they just had such kind words to say to me. And I was like gonna cry a little bit even now, kind of thinking back. I'm getting like a little teary-eyed just because it can be so hard sometimes. And when people like actually come up and say like in person that they support you, it's a lot. So I won't cry. No. Dry the tears. But I will say, I just think some of those experiences just kind of put me in a little bit of a bad mental state. Going into July, I'm gonna really try and like go into the market as if it's new. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys can hear it. My computer's literally dying. It's like burning up. So if you hear any noise, it's my computer. But going into July, I'm just gonna try and keep a good mindset. I'm gonna try and just keep in mind that like it's a new market. You never know what's gonna happen. Every single market you do is different. Like you could do the same market under the same organization. Every single one is gonna be different. I'm just gonna know that like hopefully I don't know, eat something more. I ate lunch, but I still came out of there having the worst headache. Probably bring like a little bit of a mini fan. I think the temp wasn't that bad to me. Like, I've been riding this past week, and when I'm riding, it's almost 90 degrees. Even though I'm riding a horse, I feel great. Like, I don't have a problem. I think being in that tent, and there were so many tents around, I just think it was kind of like sitting in a sauna box. And so I don't know if that constant heat, like, I had some videos of me at the market and everything. I really couldn't include that much, sadly, just because of the fact that I was literally stuck next to the musician and his music was great. I was clapping for him. I was having a good time. But I'm afraid YouTube will copyright me, so I try to put in very minimal amounts, sadly. In the videos, I was like constantly like my hat on, like I usually can leave my hat on all the time, and I can usually deal with it like even when it's 100 degrees. Sitting in that tent, I just think because there was not a lot of airflow and everyone had our banners up, so it was kind of like blocking the wind, and there's so many people, and so I just think like I was cooking a little bit, and I was cooking some brain cells as well. So with that being said, I also thought it was important to like keep my raw thoughts on the matter. I could have very easily like deleted those clips and then just came on here like a week later and given my thoughts where they're much more sweet and happy and rosy and a little bit more positive. But at the same time, I think it's important for me to include clips like that because my biggest thing with being on YouTube or being on any form of social media is being 100% true to myself and not coming off as something that I'm not trying to sugarcoat things. I wanted to show that like it's okay to have those feelings after a market. Like I think it's part of being a small business owner, and I think it's part of also having something that you dedicate a lot of time to and you want to see succeed. And then maybe not every day is like, oh, I had this magnificent, great day at the market. And like I said, in terms of profit, I did sell a lot and I was very pleased with the number. Like it was still a very good number, even if it was lower than my others. But then at the same time, I think you can still go out of there making a decent profit. And then maybe if like some of your interactions or your mental state going in wasn't that great, it can still make the market not feel good. You know, I've had a lot of farmers markets when I was first starting out, other markets that I've done where I've made not a lot of money, but the interactions that I had with other people were so fulfilling that it didn't really matter to me what money I made. And so I think I was lacking some of those like good interactions where I could talk to people, have that personal connection. And instead, the interactions that maybe weren't so nice were the interactions that kind of stayed in my head and just left a little bit of a negative feeling. So going into July, clean slate. I'm gonna go in trying to be very positive. I'm going to just try and prepare a little bit more knowing that it's gonna be so hot in July. Like I said, keep it positive. Hopefully have a few more better experiences to walk out there feeling a little bit better about what I do and everything. But that's why I kept the raw clips in. I didn't want to delete them because I think it's completely fine to have those thoughts. And I think that if anyone is ever telling you that you're not allowed to be, you know, frustrated or disappointed or have any emotions like that, then I think they are saying BS. So going forward, I will have, like I said, the market in July, and I'm actually going to be opening my second store July 15th, which is the day exactly after the market. So it's gonna be very crazy for me. I'm already starting to do a lot of prep for both the market and then also the store. That's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of stressful. I was in talks to have a third store, but honestly, I don't really think that I can handle it. So I'm just gonna try the 2 stores right now and then keep up with the markets, especially since my barn, I am getting another boarder in and possibly maybe looking at getting a second one in the future. And that takes up so much of my time that I have to also be realistic about how much time I can give to this. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But editing Carrie wanted to come in here, a nice close up, even though it ended up being what, like 11 minutes long. Girl, be quiet. But I wanted to come on here, record an outro, clear up some of my thoughts so you guys could see the reasoning, because like looking back on the videos, I'm not a super like energetic off the roof type of person, but I definitely looked very rough after those videos. And I know I've recorded videos before after markets and I've never been that bad. Like I was really I don't even know. I can't say devastated because I was not devastated. I was just so down, like exhausted, kind of done with the world. But luckily, my K-drama redeemed me. It had me giggling and stuff, so I was like, Carri's back in business. I'm gonna leave you guys with this video. Look forward to more videos coming out soon. I'll continue to have the vlogging, the overview videos, and I will continue to have basically everything. And then I'm gonna be throwing in some extra fun videos for June, since this is officially gonna be the month that I, of course, have been crocheting for a year. So we're gonna have a video about that, if I can record it. But there's gonna be a few fun videos sprinkled out, as well as the normal stuff. I hope I can see you guys in the next video. Feel free to leave comments. I love reading them. I'll try to get back to as many comments as possible. It just might take me a week to get back to them. I'm so sorry. I just like not very good at social media, but I love reading your comments. And if you message me on Instagram, because I get deemed on that, I'll see it even more. But I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the week, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!